Welcome back. It's the end of the week. What a better way to ramp down everything, get rid of the stresses that have built up thanks to the calmness and overall charm that is in Non Beauty. Of course, that's probably ignoring a lot of what some of the characters can actually get up to. But time marches on. We're going through summer, autumn. What's next on the agenda? And with so many moments that are close to my heart and pulling on certain strings of nostalgia, what else am I going to get saddled with today? I'm eagerly anticipating it. Hopefully you are too. So grab a drink. Shall we begin? Okay, we're going into winter. Autumn doesn't last all too long after all. Not the rabbits. Anything but the rabbits again. Should be. So, is anyone actually going to keep check on them? I mean, they've survived so far, so I guess we have to trust in them at least slightly. Or the sweeping of the leaves as the wind blows, pulling more off the trees. Seems like a fruitless task, to be fair. I'll do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes, I'll do it tomorrow. How many That's how many she has now. We saw before that her wardrobe was filled with them. I think having various forms of her plushies there is actually quite sweet in a way. Huh. Well, that is just her usual face, so you could almost not tell. As she seems so with it right now. Yep. How many times have I said to myself, I'm going to do something just after... Give me a minute or so. 12 hours later... crap. Although it's been a while since I've fallen asleep before eating. I don't think anything would overtake my love of food, to be fair. I think the story and everything that is on display in Non Beauty being mostly just, kind of classic stories and tropes that we've seen 100 times over in other slice of lives. But it's not trying to do anything vastly different. It's just, this is the story of the countryside and those that inhabit it. And it does seem like it could just be not documentary, but following the lives that people actually live out there, while pushing it a little to be just comedic at times. Plus, I think my life of growing up in a not tiny, but not quite a city type town lends credence to some of these moments. How relatable they can be. Although, with England not having many of these traditions or festivals and the like, we definitely weren't. We definitely weren't trying to get away and leave you behind. I mean, can you really tell her no? She's going to see the sunrise. Well, she's ready to go. Just let her see the sunrise. Well, how can you say no to that? Oh, well, that's a tough ask, but... there was hesitation there, but she, you heard it. Can we get it in writing, though? You'll have to actually be quick, though. I did like the lights wrapping around the trees, and you can see it lighting up there. That's actually really nicely done. I liked that. A lot of times you miss out on little elements like this. And they're glossed over, so you're not looking for them. Is she awake? Well, that's what would happen if the sun's not out yet. Well, you got to keep warm. You really trust her with one of the lights? Are there any banks around here? We are all trying to ignore her as much as we possibly can. I mean, is there anything particularly wrong compared to normal? They did warning, get dressed and changed in the car. We don't have long. Do they have time to argue with one another before they've even made it up the top? She wasn't aware of this. She didn't sign up for that kind of journey. If they're already tired, they can sing the way up. I guess they could sing, but do they really want to make it harder on themselves? Yep. To be fair, they're not complaining about being tired. Well, most of them. How many lines does this song have? So she's actually intertwined with their family quite a bit then. I didn't expect a flashback while they were walking up the mountain. Especially like a 5-year time jump. Yeah, you could spend your precious Sunday wasting time some other how. So you're giving me something to do by calling. Absolutely not. So she has some duties that she needs to attend to. There's no one to look after the child. You need to do it. Oh, money? And it's definitely not just to get away from her. That's the thing that you have to do instead. Sorry about not inviting you to the town, visit town as well, but for how long? Just a mention of 5,000 yen, so I'll be there in a second, almost literally. No real conversation or instructions here. Ah, okay, cool. Just leave a 1-year-old with someone that has no idea really what they're doing. They're very trusting out in the countryside. I wonder if Renge as a baby was any more of a handful than she already is. Yep, that sounds like a baby. Getting mad for no apparent reason. Also, is that her actual just voice actress screaming and moaning like a child? Perfect. What? Crying to be on the floor, crying to not be on the floor, forgot what they were crying about. Okay. I mean, not while she's preoccupied with something else, I'm guessing. How dare you disturb her playtime with the rattle? Yeah, the poor fox thing looked out of it. He's been through this for so long. And considering my brother has recently had a child, well, recently is over a year ago now, this all makes far too much sense right now. Binky Bomb. She's deadly with that thing. Fur seal calls. What is with this child? What? Yeah, maybe lead with that one. I think there should be many, many more caveats to that list to things that would annoy her. Oh no, leave the cat alone. Neko punchy. No, oh god, there it goes. I mean, the times that my nieces ran towards my parents' dogs to try and play with them, I'm surprised they haven't given their a punch in themselves. I mean, it seems as though she's doing a fairly decent job so far. She's found, somewhere she wants to sit. What are you doing? Get off! That's how I deal with children. So, what are you doing? Go away. I'm not your parents. I don't need to pay you attention. And one relatively calming evening out into a cacophony of cicada sounds and nature. I wonder if by the time the family gets back, if the 5,000 yen is well spent or too little of a compensation. Are they both asleep together? I knew it was a mistake to leave them together. I see. What are they paying her for? Sleep on the job. So she's not doing this out of the kindness of her heart? Huh. She's definitely on solid food, so... I don't know anyone that would be like, expired snacks, you can't have that. No, it would be free food, give it here. Overstock. I mean, that's a simple explanation. Especially if you're too embarrassed to say, no, I just wanted to. Wanted to do something nice for them. She's playing dress up and doing her hair for her. I think she's gotten attached to this child a little too much. And considering this was the flashback. For one that doesn't know how to deal with children. No song? We look like we're missing one. Who would have thought that hiking and singing would be somewhat tiring? There's something wrong with this family. I don't think she has the energy to do anything, but continuing breathing seems hard enough for her. You can't take a break now, not when you're so close to the goal. Plus, it's only an hour of walking. Huh. Just make sure not to keep singing while you're up there. And no, you're not getting a lift. Carry her. Mm-hmm. That's the right response. So, hell no. Is that a little observation platform like that? Huh. Nice. Well, at least on the way back down, it's downhill, might be slightly easier on them, and they're not up against a time limit. They're here to see the sunrise, that's all that truly matters. They made it in good time. It's probably best that they had a second or two to sit down and enjoy it rather than get to the top just as the sunrise starts to break. No, there's just a fire on the horizon. Is the next city over ablaze? Don't go staring directly into it, though. And the fact that we weren't shown the sunrise first, but her reaction to it, is a thing of wonder. Yeah, we know. She's too exhausted to even look up. Yeah, you're right, the sun. I mean, she has her priorities straight. New year, new sun, money. I don't think there is ever a too much when it comes to mochi. The small amount that I've actually had is pretty damn good. Asleep again. Like old times. No matter how much she denies it, she enjoys that a bit too much. At least we know that Renge is in relatively good hands going into the future. Plus, now she has a way to, alleviate some of that boredom she may feel. Before it'd just be sat watching TV, now she can sleep it away. Just not alone. And now that the new year has broken, what are we going to be shown with next? What is the next big event or something that happens? Is there a shrine to visit in this place? They usually do that around New Year's, right? Also, are we just skipping past everything else that happens between the beginning of autumn and the new year? It's a life and death situation in the next one, I see. An igloo. I would not trust it. Curiously, I've actually seen quite a few videos recently of camping and snow survival. So, making a shelter with snow isn't something I'd be new at. I wonder how well they do it, considering I don't think they have too much expertise to make an igloo. I think this episode was truly what I would kind of needed. Knowing how close a lot of the town is, there's not a lot going on, to be fair. But friends are friends, and then there's how a little bit more that they intermingle. The fact that Candy Lady is not seeing them out of obligation or money, but how close the families actually are now, because maybe it started off as just trying to help out, but actively just enjoying time together. I would like to see more of the town and how they all work together, considering we had a view of the farm before. Has anyone else helped out in any other ways, if not just looking after the kids? I think back when I was quite young, there was pretty much everyone in the vicinity around where I lived, I at least knew in some capacity. Whether it's just oh, I've seen your face, you're the neighbour about 4 doors down. Or ones where you actually go around the house and... I think there was a time when it was the neighbour next door was a really old guy. And he had a coal shed, or a bunker full of coal. For some reason, it was, right, we need to help clear it or clean it. Why the hell would you let a child near, well, that much coal and dirt? Nothing was clean. But now, I don't... After moving here, I've met my neighbours to talk to, like a grand total of about 4 times. Barely know their names. It's a lot more insular. So maybe the kind of life that they get to lead here and out in the countryside way is just a lot easier to be close to one another. There's a certain warmth to it all. And I definitely have seen the sunrise. Don't think I've ever actually cared to stay up to look at it for a reason, but definitely staying up and realising, oh, the sun's out. I should probably go to bed. But seeing how much of a handful that Renge is now, she was actually quite well behaved as a sproglet. Has a rattle, enjoys it. Has your milk at a certain temperature, just keep away from animals. She can get a little boisterous. Having only, 5 steps on a list of how to look after her? That's easy. The times that I've been around my parents, and my brother's kid has been there, yeah, I have no idea how children operate. Absolutely fine 1 minute. Oh, why are you crying? You've just thrown your ball. You don't have your ball. You're crying because you don't have your ball that you just threw. Child logic. How dare the laws of physics not adhere to them? Adhere to their whims. I also like how it's kind of slowly been building up to that. We didn't get this understanding of how close they are or how much they know each other from the beginning. So first offset, when we first had the Candy Lady be shown off as a character, so just someone who runs the candy store. We didn't get this background of how much time they've actually spent together or known each other, or they've actually looked after her as a child. Yeah, though it may only have been an hour walk up the mountain to see the sun, you will not see me doing that, mainly because we don't have any mountains around here. But also, an hour walk? I don't think there's anything good within an hour of here. Also, walk? That's blasphemous words around here. But if you wouldn't mind some mediocre exercise while also spending time with those that you actually care about, this may have been quite enjoyable for you. I pretty much enjoy any time that we get to spend in the world of Non Non Biyori, and knowing a bit more about the characters each time. It's sweet. And I definitely need more of the kind of coziness and a bit of comedy that this show provides. So I have nothing more to say. Well, other than, I mentioned earlier, the lights on the trees and the posts. Small, just attention to details. I like. It doesn't go unnoticed. I'm not sure the animators who work countless hours had enjoyed that I just noticed it, but still. If you have enjoyed this episode, let me know. Leave a like and a comment down below. If you want to make sure not to miss out the future episodes, consider subscribing. But for now, get yourselves a bit of a rest. And I'll see you in the next one. Many of my patrons have been here from the beginning. They've seen the channel grow from a veritable toddler to what it is now. Let's be honest, it hasn't done much. But hopefully, we still have many years ahead of us, so if you would like to be part of this grand family, consider joining onto my Patreon as well, and support the channel just a little bit. And with that, I really do need to thank Noku, Sal, Guado, Kite, Raywin, Shiwan, Tori Jane, and everyone else. For without them, I definitely wouldn't have been able to make it up the metaphorical mountain alone.